and welcome back to Press Turn, a video game podcast, where we just uh I forgot my Elden Ring joke I was gonna make. You know what? Whatever. It wasn't that
Sure,
funny anyway. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
don't listen to him. It was hilarious.
yeah, it was so funny though. It would have I would have gotten like a million likes anyway. Uh, yeah, we talk about video games, I guess. And
We're
boy,
glad you're here.
these this month and next month are feeling kind of stacked that I kind of feel stressed. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, how you feeling? We're almost out of it. We got a few more days, weeks to go before all the big purchases hit us, and our wallets are no more.
yeah. Although the stuff we will be probably be going over will have already come out by the time this comes. Um, but yeah, let's just get into it. Jonathan, take me through your your life.
All right. Well, uh, on my last Geeks Under Grace stream, I finished playing Inside by what's their name? Playdead Studios, and yeah, I finished it. All done.
All right, cool.
Not
Anyway,
sure what else to
moving. No,
say about it.
I
I
mean
don't know.
like did
I
you play Limbo? I think that was also them.
hmm
How would you say the um what do I want to say? Do I want to say story? I guess narrative. How does the narrative compare to the Limbos?
well,
Well,
I
I mean like cuz cuz like Inside to me almost like represents sort of like a standout a of a somewhat dying breed, not necessarily because it's bad or anything, but just because like it's not as popular anymore. I've noticed like the narrative told platformer, I guess.
oh, right, just the basic of like strings attached in order to tell something with
Hmm.
absolutely leaving the interpretation up to you.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I think that died out, and personally, I'm sort of glad it seemed to really just get a little too much there for me.
Mm.
And I mean, I mean, art for art's sake is fine, uh, but I don't know. Uh, I sort I think when Braid hit, it was really cool to start trying to imagine what the developer might have been thinking. But after a while, I started thinking that maybe they were just some of them started using it as an excuse just to sound smart when they weren't.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think like for me, I think that it was like Braid, and then there was Thomas was alone, and to a certain extent, the Stanley Parable,
Yeah,
where like uh narrative based platformers um out of like the ones that um did really good, there's pretty much just like a bottomless pool of uh ranging from like okay to straight up just bad um games. I feel bad about just straight up dunking on a bunch of people who made those types of games, but it's sort of
yeah,
true.
you're right.
I mean, like, oh my goodness, I can't even recall like the amount of games that were coming up on Newgrounds around that time. Uh, of just like just probably some of the most do I want to say pretentious? I don't want to say pretentious. I guess cringy. Um, of writing. Um, where it's like I mean like, you know, some assets are decent and okay. Some others had like really good voice actors, but it's just like the context of those games just feels like absolutely embarrassing to watch or even go through.
Yeah,
Where I'm just
yeah,
like, you know what? Everyone's got to start somewhere. So
very true.
yeah, and
Uh,
that's the purpose of the information age, right?
very
The
true.
freedom to start anywhere,
Right.
that
We've
American
also
dream.
got to. At the same time, yeah. I also had to remember that it's not just a story; it's also a game, and the gameplay is just as important. And after the story lets you down, at least after the story lets me down, I just gotta sigh, think about the gameplay or how good the puzzles were. And for Limbo and Inside, the puzzles were really good.
Okay, so at least that part wasn't too bad, right?
Not
Okay.
at all. No, I thought it was great. In fact, it's so good. I just if they even put a little banner or something before the game that said there's no story, just have fun,
Hmm.
I would have liked it maybe even a little more. Because it just the the amount of variety there was in avoiding and dealing with things and yeah, just going back and forth, I was like, what is this company? What are they doing? And I even tried in my head a mental image of just how of where I was going. I know I was going left to right, but I was more worried about how high I was going, how deep I was going, and I was baffled by just how farther down I kept going.
Hmm.
But again, yeah, I was trying to make sense of some things. But when I let go of that, really can appreciate it for its gameplay and its puzzles.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I also got sick. That was fun.
Uh
And then, not only that, I managed to get more people sick. And at first it was funny, and then they got a little worse than I did, so then I felt bad.
oh.
So I'm writing off of that now and trying to get better after that. So, in order to quell my time, let's see. Um, Courtney and I got back on to Tales of Arise, and we started getting a little further into it. Really
Oh, okay.
started getting into it. Now we're have you played any of it?
I played a little bit. I got past the first boss, and then that's basically where I stopped. I don't even
Okay.
remember. I feel like I stopped because like another game came out. I don't even remember what game came out at that time because Tales of Arise had
That's
already been out for quite a
true.
while.
That probably happened. We're past the second. We're on to the third place, and the story's getting good. Really good Tales game, really good characters. Um, and aside from my PlayStation 4 screaming like a jet engine, I yeah,
Oh
the
wow.
sound and the yeah, it's getting old. Um, other than that, just enjoying it. But uh, it also took a aside from that, when I wasn't playing that, I was playing Metroid, and oh boy, it's just
Wait, sorry, you cut out. Can you say that title one more time?
Metroid Dread.
Okay.
Oh boy, and let's see, I'm having a whole lot of fun with it. I know I've got every upgrade now, so I'm gonna go and find all the items and collectibles, get 100%, and then take on the boss and turn it back into the library once I'm done.
Wait, what? Did did you?
Yes. Surprise. Our library lets you rent Switch games.
Oh, the heck, man! I bet. Do I have a library that rents Switch games?
Political library? You probably do.
I'm furiously typing it right now. I'm like super curious. Uh,
Cool. Well, let's see. While you're looking that up,
yeah.
um, the story is so cool. Like, there's more Chozo lore, and there's dealing with no more Metroids. It is leaving me with an existential question of what's next after this game.
Hmm.
Like, what is Super Metroid going to be without it now? Um, and I haven't finished it yet, so that they may still keep their title just for the sake of it. But um, I'm kind of I'm kind of with some people who are like, why are we still collecting the same upgrades? Not that it's not cool, in my opinion. It's really cool to see upgraded power bomb and various suit and phase beam. Um, but I'm like, it's also been 20, 30 years, and I mean, everybody else is like trying new things. Um, can we also try new weapons for Samus too?
So,
Um,
would it be like, um, oh, sorry, like, would you want it to be an entirely different set of weapons or something like that,
uh,
or
man, I
like,
mean that's a good question.
I don't know. I guess, maybe something like in what was the Link to the Past sequel again?
Uh, Link Between Worlds.
A Link Between Worlds. Like, would you prefer a system like that where it's kind of like um a mishmash of several items?
Hmm. Well, and that kind of brought me to uh my next deep thought is like, what does what does Nintendo usually do with continuations? And now that I think about it, not a whole lot. They usually always just kind of break out the same staples items for their main characters in all of their games. Mario's still got the mushroom and the fire flower, and he gets different costumes. Link always gets the Master Sword and the Hyrule Shield, no matter how you look at it.
Hmm.
Uh, so I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm looking for. I think anything new would be fun.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I think anything new would be fun. Um,
Yeah, because I mean, and I guess it's just like you know, with Metroid, I don't. I mean, the problem is I don't really know a lot about it, but I guess like all of the weapons sound like they've stayed pretty much the same throughout all the titles, and I guess it's just because
they have.
like for example, uh the Legend of Zelda series. Well, I guess in this case it's a very apt comparison. Um, there's always like a set of certain legacy items, but they always switch them out for like I don't know, maybe two or three for each game.
Yeah,
Um, cause
actually,
yeah, I,
now that I got to thinking about that, like uh, Breath of the Wild mechanic of changing the armor out would be pretty sweet. If now that I think about it, uh, you can. I think the side scrolling levels are perfect. Um, and that was another plus to Dread that I liked was that it's still the same formula, so it was still fun.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, no. I'm trying to think about like different armor pieces for Samus, like different shoulder pieces or wrist guards or chest plates and leg armor. That
Oh,
might be fun.
are 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 you perhaps referring to what is famously known as a Metroidvania,
Mm.
popularized by Castlevania Symphony of the Night?
Yes, maybe a little more Symphony of the Night
Yeah.
in the Metroid. That might be cool.
Okay. It's funny you mentioned that because we do happen to have an episode where we talked about that. It's a few episodes back, but you can go
Ooh,
watch that. Um, where
I
we
think I
break that
will.
down.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
and
good
oh yeah,
episode if you want. Tell your friends. Anyway,
yeah.
no reason. Just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, yeah. Okay, doing self promotion is honestly hard. I literally have to remind
With a
myself,
straight face.
like, yeah, like I literally have to remind myself. Oh yeah, I need to plug it in like during the episode because this is what you do, even though people don't like it. And it's like, if I don't do it, then none of you will remember to do anything. You're just gonna be like, ah, whatever.
That's right. Listen to us.
Yeah, listen to what we say, not what we do. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, cause like, uh, I guess it's one of those things where like, um, maybe maybe it's just because it's been so long since like a proper sequel for Metroid has come out that they haven't really had time to look at um other new things that they could do. Like I feel like historically Nintendo
True.
games or rather the franchises within Nintendo always famously have like one distinct mechanic or thematic addition that the new game is centered around, and then they basically build off of that. So for Dread, I feel like the main thing is the stealth segment, or or I guess or I guess more accurately, like having a chaser in some levels,
Yeah.
uh, which is actually somewhat similar to Resident Evil 2 and 3. Um,
Yeah.
with Mr. X and the Tyrant or the Nemesis type. Um,
Yeah.
which I guess like I don't know. Yeah, I mean this is a difficult question. And I mean like I'm not sure what they could really do because I'm also thinking like the only other franchise within Nintendo that I can think of that's similar to Metroid is like Kirby, but I mean like I don't know. Kirby games almost get away with it just because like they're very saccharine and they're meant to be like surface level um like a surface level playstyle where
Mhm.
like just going through the story is pretty easy, honestly,
Yeah.
and like doesn't really require much um doesn't demand like much skill from
Yeah.
you. Uh but at the same time um they always manage to have at least like one major mechanic that's always different. But I mean like even the demo for the new game, um Kirby and the Lost
Forgotten.
World?
Forgotten World.
Forgotten World, which is what I meant to say, and I totally did not mix it up with Sonic Lost World. Um
Hmm.
it I mean I don't know. I suppose like it's just enough to warrant it to be like a separate title, if anything. But yeah, I don't know. I mean like at the same time, I feel like I'm not really the best person to talk about this because I play fighting games, which is pretty much just like I'm used to paying for version updates, where on the surface it doesn't really seem like there's much to it. Thankfully that's kind of stopped, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you could really do to kind of switch things up for the Metroid series. Because, I mean, like, because I feel like the core mechanics of Metroid has to do with the weapons. So if anything, it's more like how do you like where else could you go? And it's almost like, okay, well, I don't know, maybe more challenging uh platforming puzzles or something like that. But I feel like at least from what I've heard, I feel like Dread and the game before that, Samus Returns, I think it was called, uh have already pushed the furthest extent of what Metroid can do right now. Um without, like doing something really crazy, you know. Um I think what's also interesting is that like I feel like considering the Metroid series has almost as big of a following in a way as like Legend of Zelda. I'm surprised there isn't like um a Master Sword version for Metroid games, like like where it's like a variant of a previous game, but it's even harder and stuff like that. And I feel like the Dread Mode update, which was released like a couple of weeks ago or something,
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
was pretty much that. Um, so again, yeah, I don't really know where else you could go with that.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. That's what to think about. Yeah, the core mechanics.
Yeah, because like
Mm.
as far as like how far can you change it goes, it's hard to say because it's been such a long time, and also the last time they tried to change things up was Metroid Other M, which I mean like uh story notwithstanding, I don't know if there was all that much to praise the game for in terms of gameplay, or at the very least I haven't heard anyone talk about the gameplay even if it even warrants like yeah, there was something that could be done there. Um I mean like
Yeah,
it does the Prime series play somewhat similar uh
I was
despite
I
the first person perspective?
I was gonna make a mention about the Prime series. I think they satisfy as far as platforming goes what is missing in the other side-scrolling titles. So making more timed jumps, aspects of that nature. Um, so really, I suppose, sort of like how the story's wrapped up, maybe how the formula for Metroid or Super Metroid goes. Maybe that's done. Maybe, gosh, I hate to say total overhaul, but maybe that's what's in store.
Maybe you
Oh, you
change
know
the
what?
ice missiles to fire missiles and
Or I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Get like she's got a suit,
okay,
so
okay, wait.
play along
Wait,
with hovering or something. I don't
wait,
know.
hang on. Everyone shut up. Okay. So what about if you take out the ice missiles and they're fire missiles instead, and what the fire missiles do is rather than give you a platform, it just propels you in a direction that you can kind of control. So like almost
Oh, I got you. So
think
sort of like,
like almost a ballista or like in Worms where
yeah,
it's like you can control kind of like the strength and the arc that certain
I
weapons
got you.
have. But
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of that, it's like if you just point it to the ground or you can't see it, but like if you just point it to the ground, like and you just control where it goes, it's like okay, if you point it straight down, it'll shoot you straight up, but it won't give you that much distance. But if you angle it a little bit, it's basically like a long jump, right?
Yeah,
Um, I don't know.
yeah.
That's just a
So
thought. Kind of sounds stupid, honestly, because I feel like I don't know. But at the same time, I also feel like I've seen like some speedrunning strats in the Mega Man and Mega Man X series that I feel like maybe there's something there that they could pull from as well. And I mean like not to be rude, but it's not like Capcom's doing anything with the series right now. So maybe you could do something like that.
you're right. I think you may have something
Samus,
there.
you must fight the nine Metroid Masters, and
Well,
so you can reach Doctor Doctor Chozo's evil laboratory. I know the Chozos are actually good people, so I don't. But I don't know.
funny you mentioned that because some of the this isn't a spoiler. Some of the Emmys give you your abilities back, so it's kind of like that.
Hmm. Okay.
And I just remembered a very vital story point, and it's a
Hmm.
spoiler, so I won't say anything. But I can comfortably say I was wrong. The Metroid title will stay. So anyway,
Oh, okay.
uh,
I see.
I'm gonna get it off this long, long path of talking about Metroidvanias on this show. Let's go talk about something
There's
else.
still more we could unpack there at some point. So
Next episode, I'll come back and say, here's a list of things I think Metroid can do better.
one, be more like Castlevania.
One, Hollow Knight, anyone?
Two, add
Oh,
RPG mechanics.
yeah.
Why do we still have hit points in this day and age? Modern gaming has advanced so anyway. Uh uh what else have you done besides simulate nerd flame arguments?
uh, I got. Oh, did I say I got a new job as a sub teacher last episode?
You
If
did.
not, okay, cool. Well, I'm still doing that, and it's amazing, and I love it. And it has um, it's taken up my time and really made me it's made my days better because I get to I instead of working from 12 in the afternoon to 9 at night, now I get to work like a regular human being and work from the morning.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. I don't mean regular human being. I know there are third shifters out there and really appreciate the work that third shifters do.
Yeah, I was gonna say I work I technically work third shift, so you better watch your mouth.
Hey, I did too. I did too, and I hated it so much.
Yeah.
But well, let me see. Recount if there's anything I've watched or anything.
Didn't you didn't you watch a movie? I feel like you talked about it in our chat. Or maybe that was someone else. That could have been. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Um
Turning Red.
oh, okay, yeah. I haven't watched that yet, but I did hear one interesting tidbit. It is a minor spoiler, but I don't feel like it's that bad to reveal. Like, it's actually about a teenage girl going through like having her first period, essentially.
Essentially,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is like, I mean, hey, I think that's kind of an untapped market and as far as like coming of age stories go. So
precisely,
yeah.
yeah. Well, and I mean, like, it's not. Well, so the joke is played that
Mhm.
she turns into a panda because that was her family culture. Like, and when a
Right.
woman starts to turn when a girl starts to turn to a woman, then the panda starts coming out with extreme emotions. But the
Specifically
mom
the red panda.
specifically the red panda,
Yeah.
but the mom thinks it's her period. So yeah, there's a couple pad jokes.
Mm,
Um, I mean, they were funny,
Yeah.
but I mean, like you said, extremely untapped market, and I think it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
I am very curious now once I heard about that because honestly when I saw it, the metaphor did not hit me at all. I'm just like, okay, this is kind of weird. But
yeah, I mean,
but
I too,
when
I
that
was
was
like,
spelled out for me, I was like, "Oh, that totally makes sense now." Um and I mean like yeah, because I feel like I don't know. I guess like for for kids when it comes to like stories that are about coming of age, it can somewhat come off as a little safe, if that makes sense. When it's like it's probably the most chaotic time of your entire adolescent life, at least. That's just like,
yeah,
whoa, I feel weird. I don't understand what's happening to me. Uh, I'm I'm completely different than what I used to be,
yeah,
and I can't.
and most coming of age stories are usually about a death in the family or moving to a new location, something like that.
Yeah,
Nothing that hits home like your entire body um, completely changing.
yeah. I guess like yeah, cause what was it? Inside Out was
Mm,
kind of like that too, but
yeah.
but it wasn't really focused on the character. It was more just focused on the characters inside the girl's head,
Hmm.
uh, which is kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that game, that game, that movie didn't resonate with me as well. Just cause like I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah, you're right. I mean, most of the
yeah
adventure was the emotions going on an adventure, trying to go and get something back, not the person,
yeah
outside dealing with it. Although you got that, but
yeah. I mean, to be fair, I've always wanted to go back and watch it again because honestly, I don't even remember like half of what happened in that movie, which is probably a bad sign. But I'll just say it's because I'm kind of turning into a boomer, and that's why, and my memory's failing me, and just be like, I'll give it the benefit of a doubt, so I can go back in and kind of like look at it more critically, um, because I do
right,
think that's a very interesting topic that isn't nearly as explored for for like stories geared towards more younger people. Um, and for older people, it's kind of like it's kind of wishy-washy, while there are some very few standouts that actually try to hit home like what it is to deal with like strained relationships or something like.
you're right.
Although honestly, all I'm thinking about it in terms of movies is just like, man, I really want to watch Dune again.
Really?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while to the point where I'm just like, should I just buy it online or something?
Well, why don't you share that, and at the same time, tell me how you're going.
Uh, wait, with what?
Oh, with you, what's going on with you?
Oh, yeah, right. Yes, hi. I'm part of this podcast too. I'm the one who hosts it. Anyway, uh,
For now.
we'll see about that. So I actually had my first therapy session today. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. How'd that go?
So, not too bad. I mean, it was nothing really outstanding. It was just like introductions and the therapist trying to get to know me and uh
Gotcha.
and also revealing some stuff about her, which definitely helped. It's kind of interesting just because like I don't really know what to expect, and I guess that's a good thing is just to like not not keep any expectations for it and try
Yeah,
like my best to just um let out whatever I'm feeling naturally rather than just trying to hide it.
precisely.
Um and
Just let it go, no matter how you may presume to sound.
yeah, or whatever awkward emotion releases happen during that time.
Yeah,
Which I guess like for 45-minute sessions could be a very long time depending on what happens. But yeah, I mean, um we'll see how it goes. I probably won't talk about it too much, but I did just want to mention it. And other than that, let me see. While playing Elden Ring, I had JoJo Stone Ocean Season 1 going in the background since it sounds like the next season might be starting up next month. As far as rumors go, just rumors, no hard confirmation, but just going by trends and also the last episode of the first season finally airing in Japan this week, I think. There probably will be a new season geared for next month. Whether or not the initial intended streaming schedule will happen remains to be seen. I'm not saying I want all the episodes at once again, as much as I would like that, but you know, who's to say? We'll have to see. But yeah, all I did was other than that just like play Elden Ring pretty much. I really like that game. If it's not clear,
how far have you gone yet?
oh goodness, I believe. Okay, so really, I can't really go off of the total playtime because I did restart a couple times, but I think if I remember when I last checked, I clocked in at about 90 hours for Elden Ring, which isn't a lot, but that's basically just like whatever time I had available to me and like wasn't busy
It's
with
a
other
lot of
stuff.
hours.
Yeah, it was still a lot, and I mean, I feel like I've done a lot in that time, and it's still just like there's so much more still to go, and kind of nuts. Like, oh my goodness, I I passed a point that I think most people would have assumed uh was like near the end of the game, and then I heard on another podcast that that they hit that same part where they also thought that, and then the new area they explored, they said there were like uh six or like three or six other areas within that area, which
Ooh,
I was just like, okay, awesome. So the little nagging feeling I had uh was just like, oh no, this is the halfway point. There's no way it's like end game or anything like that, which is kind of crazy because but at the same time I was also just like, yeah, no, there's no way because uh this other area, while it probably will be it probably will be smaller than what Limgrave was, it's still just like there's Limgrave and then there's Caelid and then there's um uh Liurnia, which are all interconnected and you can access them pretty easily. with a fourth area, Lanedale, which for the most part is pretty much not Lanedale specifically, but an area within Lanedale that's pretty much hard locked um until you beat like the two of the main story bosses. I'll say
Mhm.
you need to have beaten before being able to access that area. Uh, which in turn hard locks this new area that I just unlocked as well. Yeah, that game is like still going, and I and like every time I'm listening to other people or like looking on Twitter on Elden Ring stuff, there's still stuff I'm finding out that I'm just going like, wait, there's what in Stormvale Castle? And then I went back there and realized there's a door that I didn't that was locked, and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's still more there that I have to go. And it turns out I was right. There was like another boss hidden in Stormvale where I was just like, and
Oh,
here I thought, foolish me, I thought I cleared Stormvale Castle, and it's like, oh, sweet summer child, you thought,
oh, sweet
um,
summer child.
yeah. So that made me realize it's like, yeah, no, in a lot of those areas, you really gotta pay attention and remember, like, okay, where haven't I gone? Where haven't I tried going? Because, like,
So, a game that has no quest log requires you to ask you once more to also pay attention to extra doors.
yeah. Well, not
Hmm.
just that. I mean, like, there's also just like pathways where it's like you're running on rooftops. Like that's a Dark Souls thing. Um, there are like uh hidden tunnels. There are illusory walls. Uh, like just recently, I basically went through a sewer maze, and I was just like, I can't believe this is still going. It's kind of nuts. And I'm not even sure. No, wait. I think I think. Wait. Okay, no. Hang on. Was were those two spaces interconnected? I'm not sure because from 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 what I can, I guess I could talk about without strictly spoiling. Um, there is an underground cathedral, uh, in one of the later areas, but there's also like a huge, I guess I'd call it stairway, but it's like a big expanse of like a stairway with a big hole in the middle of that. I'm not sure if those two areas are interconnected in terms of like map spacing. They must be, but I'm not sure though. I'll have to go back and check, but yeah, I mean like yeah, I mean game's still great. There are some obvious hiccups still, and I've um after playing a bit more, it definitely does feel like there are some areas where it's like you're running into the same enemy, but for whatever reason, they're like doing way more damage than they should be.
Hmm.
Um, which is probably like it well, okay. Because the problem is I have a item equipped that raises my stats, but it increases the damage dealt to me by an equal amount. So it's like I'm not sure if it's that item or if the enemies are in fact hitting that hard. But I have been
Doesn't sound like a
seeing
very useful item.
It is when you want to equip other weapons. Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Uh,
I see.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's the additional reason. Okay,
yeah. Lets you level up in other areas that you normally wouldn't have been able to.
gotcha. Not all leveling is only for defense.
Mhm. Uh, yeah. I am playing pretty. I am I am playing with my life on my sleeve, pretty much. I got like no health. Every fight, it's like 2 or 3 hits and I'm dead. And it's just like, you know what? That's fine because I just want to equip the cool stuff. And I don't care how much of a pain that is. I sometimes I do look at other playthroughs and I'm just going like, man, man, I wonder what that's like having that much health and not having to worry about death, death that much. But it's still fun.
Don't falter, Sam.
It does it does feel like some enemies are a little bit unbalanced here and there though. Just going off of the conversations that are happening within the community as well. Um, but I mean, like when the game gives you stuff like normal weapons being so customizable to the point where it's like this one sword can do frost damage, blood loss, and poison all at the same time. It's like, yeah, I think in some ways that's kind of fair. Uh, but at the same time, there are also some things where it's just like, okay, so for example, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Elden Ring, or if you've kept up with anything like through playthroughs or at all.
Give me a best shot.
But there are these side dungeons called like catacombs or caves,
Hmm.
and they're basically like mini dungeons. And a lot of them usually have like a unique weapon or armor sets behind them or stuff like that. I found one where it's just it's probably one of the cruelest trap dungeons I've seen in the game so far. Where it's like there's a there's a hazard that can basically one shot you if you get too close to it, or rather if it hits you, and then the floor is lava.
Wow,
Yeah,
that sucks.
A- and and it's like it's demanding you to play, and it's demanding you to avoid this hazard while also taking fire damage from walking through lava at the same time, or not lava, magma to be specific. Sorry, um, there's a distinction. But uh, yeah, that catacomb is wild. And
Is the thing? Is it like a thing on wheels going around?
mhm.
Okay, I think I might know the exact one you're talking about. I saw someone cheese that catacomb.
Oh yeah, that's basically what I ended up doing too because I saw that and I was just like, this seems really hard. Oh wait, there's probably also secrets in this game in this dungeon too. Oh no. I really don't want to deal with this. Do I have anything? Oh yeah, that's right. This boss that I kicked to the curb dropped these claws that have this teleport dash. How about I put those on? Oh, cool. I basically cheesed that entire hazard now. Awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah. Um so yeah. That that was pretty cool. But yeah, again like that's what I mean. It's like it
It
there
seems
there are a
unfair.
lot of things that feel very unbalanced in the game, but at the same time I feel like the game also gives the player a lot of freedom with certain things. I mean like there are so many items that increase your stats for you that that at this point it's almost like okay, so for example, um right now I have a couple items equipped. I have the thing that increases your stats up to a certain degree, but also increases the amount of damage you take to to match how much it increases your stats. I also have an item that increases my intelligence by 5 points. And I have a piece of armor that increases my arcane by I think it's definitely more than 5 points. It's very significant. And right now, aside from most strength based weapons, I can equip pretty much every weapon aside from strength weapons and some of the staves. Uh,
Dude,
and it's kind of crazy with this staves staves. Is it staves? I forget.
yes.
Um, like there's a staff I have that's uh that requires like 52 intelligence. Uh, and then I remember, and there's a boss staff that you can get that requires 70. So I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of wild, honestly. But yeah, right now it's like I have a build that allows me to equip the majority of the weapons available to me, and it's kind of cool. Um, but at the same time, I'm also dealing with like fairly low stamina, fairly low health, and fairly low magic as well. But at the same time, it's also just like, you know what? I'll just have to find whatever strategy works for me, and if it works, it works. A win is a win is a win, you know. So,
That's right. Winter chicken dinner.
I mean, like there was one boss where I feel like there's pretty much one intentional way to fight it, and I felt like I fought that pretty honestly, and I felt pretty good about that one too, because like I did it in like 20 minutes when like the previous day I I like banged my head against it for like an hour, um, and it felt good. Like it like no matter how you defeat a boss in this game, it still feels very rewarding. Um, if you're still feeling like the pressure from it, because it's just like, you know, once it's finished, like for me, I'm just like breathing a sigh of relief, and then I'm also like pumping my fist. I'm like, yeah, I did it. Because you know it, like I did it the way I wanted to. Um,
Hmm.
you know, and and I think that's the important thing. So I guess like I don't know. I guess it is interesting. Like playing Elden Ring. Before having my first therapy session. Which is or like it kind of goes hand in hand where like uh you're playing a game that's just like kicking your all about kicking your face in until you triumph, and then now I have to do the same thing in real life. So I don't know. I suppose it's good. Uh but yeah, I kind of rambled obviously, but the main thing being Elden Ring's so cool. Um
Why haven't you bought it yet?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, it's hard, but maybe don't be a baby. Maybe uh I don't know, get good. Whatever other toxic gamer slang to throw out there. Get on my level. I don't know, plus ratio, plus didn't ask, plus L, plus whatever, plus Fortnite,
Fine.
plus no maidens. What I don't. Uh,
I find the conversation around Dark Souls games so ironic. It's so funny. whether you're on the toxic side of oh just get good, the game's not that hard, or on
Hmm.
the other side it's like the game really teaches you how to find patterns, how to grow, how to take the difficulty and feel victorious over winning it. And all the while I'm just sitting back going, our parents said the same
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess it is kind of like that joke about uh baby boomers versus millennials, where
thing.
it's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah. We just found our own language of how to say get good, or
yeah,
pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Walk it off.
the baby boomer, the baby boomer is the original get good. Oh man.
Back in my day.
Oh, did I just find the title of this episode? Hang on a second. Let me open up Notepad. Press turn, episode 19. Baby boomers invented get good. Okay. Uh anyway, did I even do anything else? I don't know. Oh yeah, I did mention I rewatched JoJo.
I don't know. 90 hours in Elden Ring, that takes a lot out of you.
Yeah. I mean anything that's not story related, I pretty much have like a stream going on in the background because it's just like, well, I mean like the game's very pretty, but at this point I pretty much listen to most of the music as well. And it's like if I don't have something on, I'll probably just fall into a lull and not like focus up and pay attention to what's going on in my game. Uh
I feel like that's more than just a Dark Souls mood though.
oh yeah, for sure.
Like it's like at some point you just got to
It
start listening to something else while you're grinding out.
although to be honest, it does feel kind of weird to do that for a Souls game where it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, these
Yeah.
games are really hard and they're gonna beat you up and you're gonna die if you don't pay attention. Oh, I'm just gonna who's streaming right now? Is Ludwig on? Is PewDiePie on? Who's on there? Is Maximilian Dude talking about Street Fighter again?
Hmm.
Okay. Anyway,
I
oh
feel like that Twitch today.
yeah. Is there a VTuber on? By the way, I watch VTubers. Yes, come at me. I don't care. But
Well, you're awake during that time.
hmm?
You're awake during that time,
Oh
right?
yeah.
He streams late, doesn't he?
Oh who? Oh Maximilian Dude. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Wait, no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Sorry.
oh wait, who are you thinking of?
Oh, I think I was thinking of VG Sauce.
BG Saws. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I have not heard that name in a long time. Wow. Yeah, he is still streaming, huh? Goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, I say that, but then I list like PewDiePie and Maximilian Dude, who have all pretty much been streaming for almost 10 years now. My goodness. But yeah. Oh yeah, last thing. So Persona 4 Arena Ultimax came out for PC. Woo, nice.
Ooh.
Confirmed rollback, double nice. So I just popped that in for a bit. That's pretty much it. I used to play kanji for that game uh back when I played with a specific fighting game group locally. Um but not anymore and that was like a long time ago. Uh But I will say, I think like Persona 4 Arena is probably one of those fighting games where I feel like it hits that really nice niche of if you know the original material, you'll have fun with this game, and also the barrier for entry is honestly pretty lenient. Like this was Dragon Ball Fighters before Dragon Ball Fighters.
Uh,
In terms of accessibility, like it was pretty simple, and like if you're familiar with Persona, it I would imagine it's very easy to just separate, like normal attacks and Persona attacks. Um which is kind of weird because like Persona 4 Arena, like, to me is almost like a joke where it's just like it's a fighting game with all puppet characters. Um but then but then the game but then in the game there is an actual puppet character. Uh but yeah, I mean, game's still good. It's super nice. I forgot how customizable um they let you play with that game. Like not just choose a stage, choose the music for that stage, but also like choosing between colors between the character and the persona, choosing what announcer you want right away. Um, there's also like the commentator, to simulate the re- the recon character that you had in 3, 4, and 5. Um, yeah, I wanna put more time into that game. Now that I have a chance to like actually play it on my own. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll take a break from Elden Ring tonight. Uh, it'll be very hard to, but yeah. Oh yeah. Also, speaking of, quick shout out to everyone whose perfect builds got destroyed by the recent uh update to Elden Ring. I feel my condolences to you. I also got hit pretty hard. Sword of Night and Flames damage got nerfed. Although to be honest, I haven't really felt that damage down. So I don't know. I don't know.
there's a YouTuber by the name of Mighty Keef.
Yeah, I fell on too. I saw that.
You saw his video too.
Yeah. Oh
That was
man.
great.
I saw his tweet
Oh, I
where
didn't see his tweet.
his fire of sin and his fire of sin and shield great shield build got nerfed, and he was super mad about that. He was probably joking,
Oh yeah.
but I felt that. I was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that." Anyway, better pick yourself back up and get back in there, Buttercup. uh, but yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Is like that's why I wanted to get more access to other weapons because I didn't want to just stick to one method. Um, look at me, I'm talking about Elden Ring again. Anyway, uh, let's see what else. So so straight up, I forgot to have a discussion topic, so I guess we'll talk a little bit about news, which there is plenty of. A lot of fighting game stuff, actually. Guilty Gear Strive just announced their next DLC character, back from the
Oh,
dead,
good.
literally, Testament, who hasn't made an appearance
Oh,
uh, since Guilty Gear XX. Um, basically just passed away peacefully. And then it was just like, nah, I'm back, ready to throw down again. I'm like, okay, I guess all the killers are coming back from XX. It's pretty funny because like every time a returning character gets announced for Strive, there's always someone on Twitter or somewhere just going like, "Oh man, I can't believe they brought this character back." And it's just like, okay, where does it end? What when is it gonna be like a new DLC, a returning DLC character comes back, and then it's just like, oh, okay, cool. Like,
Never.
that's the thing with fighting games. It's like every time, it's just gonna be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they brought this character back. Unbelievable. Um, but that's cool. I was always interested by Testament's design. So I'll be excited when that drops. Uh, apparently people are identifying Testament as non-binary, which doesn't make sense because I'm pretty sure he was a guy in the last game. Uh,
Mhm.
but considering he's back and in the Japanese trailer he's voiced by a woman, I don't really know. I don't know what's going on
Mhm.
there. And to be perfectly honest, I feel like uh okay, this is going into some lore stuff, which I mean, I know. I'm talking about lore in a fighting game. Uh because it's super important for sure, but uh I'm nearly positive that like Testament never had a distinguished gender anyway, so it doesn't really
Mhm.
matter. All I know is there's probably going to be a lot of thirsty fan art for this character. Uh, much like there was a
Yep.
lot of thirsty fan art uh for Jury Seth back when he got dropped in Street Fighter 5. Um, so
Oh
you know,
man, watching
yeah,
Testament's reveal trailer. Yeah.
oh yeah. Which is weird because in the English trailer, he's voiced by a male voice actor. So uh I'm not sure if that was like actually intentional or not. It's very interesting. Um, I don't know. We'll see. Again, talking about lore and fighting games is probably like one of the most uh fruitless ventures to do. Um, even though it does add to the character, but I mean personally, it's just like I don't know. Like I like Chun Li because she does the kicks. That's pretty much is. That's pretty much it. Also, she's hot. I don't know. Is that toxic to say? I don't know. Like, is there anyone who's really gonna disagree with me on that?
I don't know, man.
But yeah. So anyway, yeah. I look forward to the many flame wars of people arguing about Testament's gender and Strive. I'm sure it'll be very exciting. Um, spoilers, it's not. But there was something else. Oh yeah, King of Fighters 15 had a free update. Um, I still need to buy that game actually, but I'll have to see. But Omega Rugal got added to the game for free. So everyone who bought the game just got a free DLC character, which is pretty cool. Uh, Omega Rugal, who originates from King of Fighters 2000, I want to say. I don't actually know. I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, do you know who I'm talking about? Omega Rugal?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh, no, it's okay. I mean, I'm talking about fighting games, so it's like you're either gonna know or you're not. And unfortunately, LJ's not here to back me up. Uh,
Sadly.
It's okay. I'm very used to talking about fighting games and people just giving me a blank stare, going like, "Yeah, cool."
Boink, boink.
Oh, King of Fighters 95, 95. Okay. Although, apparently he got some different powers in King of Fighters 98. So which variation is he in 15? You know what? You know what? I don't even have the game yet, so I'm not even gonna think about that yet. But let's see what else. Oh yeah, Street Fighter 5 got a free update too. I think they're adding some more new moves or like some pretty drastic changes to a lot of the characters again, which is kind of nuts. But I think like now that they announced Street Fighter 6, they're gonna be Street Fighter 5 is pretty much done now. Which I mean, it's too bad, considering like it feels like only in the last couple of years they've finally like hit their stride of just like bringing Street Fighter 5 back from the pretty awful launch state it was in.
Mhm.
But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I know launch Street Fighter 5 burned a lot of people, and it's probably for the best that they work on Street Fighter 6 as soon as possible, for as much as they can.
Mhm.
Um, there also was the third Japanese fighting game table, fighting game round table, which I did not actually catch, but um, that was interesting. I caught a little bit of a summary where I believe, let's see here. Yeah, the chief producer for Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown, Seiji Aoki, they were talking about their development for that game and how for the next Virtua Fighter game, they said, rather, he said he wanted to go for a free to play model, which is definitely very interesting because that is how they initially released Ultimate Showdown. Um, I think like last year,
Mhm.
and that did very well. I mean, like a million copies downloaded or played is very telling that it's like, hey, yeah, this works, and
Oh.
it's kind of crazy that it's like happening with such a legacy franchise like Virtual Fighter of all things.
Mhm.
A franchise that had all been assumed dead in the water, just brought back to life and kind of just like swinging for the fences of just like, hey, you know what? Let's try something different. Let's try a new model and see if this works or not. And it kind of did. Unfortunately, they didn't really stick to their guns because it eventually went for a price to pay. But
Mhm.
I mean, it is what it is. And yeah, I think this is also where the announcements for Testament and Omega Rugal, respectively, happened as well.
Mm.
I believe what else? Oh yeah, from Arika, Akira Nishitani, who is the president and CEO of Arika, announced that they're adding a new netcode to Fighting Layer EX, and and actually wait, I'll probably confirm if it's rollback or not first.
Good idea.
Uh,
You weren't kidding. There was a lot of fighting game news today.
yeah. Yeah, I think the roundtable happened a couple days ago, or at least
Right.
within at least over the weekend.
I am legitimately impressed.
Yeah. I mean that's the thing when fighting games news happens, it kind of just pours in now. So let's see. Nothing here. Uh, fighting. Oh wait, sorry. Not fighting layer EX, fighting EX layer. Oh my goodness.
Get it right.
I can't believe they flubbed on the title. Cuz you know what the acronym would have been if it was fighting layer EX?
Flex.
Yes.
Heck yeah. You playing flex?
But now it's Fexel. Hey, you down for a few rounds of Fexel?
Ah, don't say it, dude. It's so awful.
Okay, let's see here. Fighting EX Layer, another dash, will soon be getting a 2.2.0 update on Switch with the next generation of netcode. Planned planned for an April 1st, 2002 release. Are you serious?
Ooh.
Nishitani, what the heck, man? Stop. Why did they keep doing this? Like everything has been like an April 1st announcement. I don't at this point it's like it is the joke where it's like next update for Fexel is April 1st, and it's
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 in.
silly. I can't believe it. Anyway,
Ugh, that's just in. April, we're all dead. No more money.
yeah. So I'm looking at what looks like a test for it right now. Uh I will share that with you, Jonathan. Um if you want to take a look at that.
I got you. Vexel. Oh gosh, awful. Vexlad.
Fexel. Fexlat.
Ugh. Ugh.
Hold this Fex L, loser. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I suppose I think the problem this with this preview, we're both looking at it now. Um, it's hard to really say without getting like more live feedback of uh like the data like of the actual data that's happening on screen. Because it says here ping 30 to 50, which is like I mean I suppose that I suppose that helps, but it's kind of hard to tell how it would be um like actively like this like it would have been more helpful to see this in like a live network test, like a simulated live network test rather than just like set cases within these certain ranges. Like
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
yeah. Like I think it was going like from 0 to 20 ping to 30 to 50, then like 180 to 200.
Right, instead
Which
of just having a stable 30-50.
yeah, which is all well and good, but like the problem with ping is like it can kind of go all over the place where it's like when you first connect to a match, it will probably be good at the start, but then it's like as it continues, depending on where the locations are for both players, like that ping will vary
Yes.
drastically. Um, so it's really hard to say. Uh, I mean that being said though, if this is to be taken as like the actual environments for the ping data, it does look pretty good. I do know that for a lot of online matches for Fexel, it was kind of rough. I think if I remember correctly, back when the game first came out, there were some online matches where it was just like you're basically waiting for like several seconds before anything happened. Oh yeah, you're starting to see some of that jitter. Um, that's like the frames skipping, uh, pretty much just to like catch up to where the action is.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like it's not necessarily um like actual rollback, um, but some implementation of it on top of whatever they had in place. Oh my goodness, 390 to 415.
Yeah, it looks good.
So this is basically Brazilian Ken mode here. Yeah, let me see here.
It's
Yep,
competent, yeah.
yep. I have played these matches before. Oh man. Oh, I never want to experience that. If people don't know what Brazilian Ken is, oh my goodness, it's probably one of the worst online experiences you'll ever have. I mean, people complain about lag in online shooters is one thing, but oh my gosh, when it's happening in a fighting game, it's probably the most devastating feeling you'll have ever experienced while playing. I think we're good on that.
Gotta say, if they can run a whole test at 390 to 415 constantly, and it show, okay, I guess the back and forth won't be so bad. But or is it that when it shifts, is that when it's bad at its the the rollback code at its worst?
Well, it's I mean it's not optimal, but it is better than just the game stalling, um, which is which is kind of the default for a lot of fighting games that don't have or that don't have um a rollback form of netcode in place. Because generally, and this is mostly with the Japanese fighting games, all uh the the network the network frame structure is mostly delay based, which is basically just like it adjusts accordingly depending on your ping. Um, and then it reads, okay, how many frames behind is this person compared to the other person? And then it will take that difference and go, okay, we'll just make the game wait until until the two players sync up again, and then continue the game. Which, uh, for certain games, it's okay. For things like fighting games and shooters, it's definitely not. I mean, like you're talking about waiting on seconds of lag to catch up in situations where it's like you're making split second decisions. You know, it's um like for shooters, it's like that difference between like, oh wait, am I lining up the shot correctly? I need to adjust like
Please
a
hold.
few centimeters to the right or something, and then the game is just like, hang on, and it's just like, oh boy, like
I
you
get
know,
it.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think I have to talk about the dark ages of when the host leaves a Call of Duty match, everyone has to wait for the server to pick a new host, and it just taking like nearly minutes to reconnect everyone. Uh, but yeah, I mean we've come a long way, and you know for better or worse, I'm glad the push for better netcode is happening for fighting games because it's severely needed it for years. Uh, and like and uh, honestly, it's kind of great that it's finally happening because um, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm basically just saying the stuff that I've been saying forever. Every time I talk about fighting games on this podcast, it's just like I'm glad this is finally happening because oh boy, the what we had before it wasn't great. What we have now still isn't really great. Um,
And now we can finally play the game.
yeah, yeah, literally. I mean that is what it is the thing. So
Yeah. So now, press turn comes to an end.
yeah, I guess yeah, I think so. I mean I don't know. Genshin Impact has a new update. I haven't even touched Genshin Impact since getting Elden Ring. That's a long time.
afraid,
That's a long
afraid to
time of
touch
not playing
Genshin Impact.
Genshin.
I feel like I'm due for like a week's worth of updates.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm afraid to even click it. If I click it right now, it may break the podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely wait after we stop. Uh, I'm just checking real quick if there's anything else to go over. I mean, oh yeah, there was uh um the the Souls like Final Fantasy came out. I completely forgot about that.
Oh, Stranger of Paradise?
Yeah, have you gotten that?
No.
Okay, never mind then. We're not gonna talk about it. Who cares? There's
Ah,
there's Elden Ring and then there's Elden Ring at home.
right.
So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it. Anyway, take care. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to pry myself away from Elden Ring, catch up on some fighting games, I guess. And we'll catch you next time. Peace. Oh, wait. I gotta praise the ring. Actually, I don't like that one. I like the fire spur one, but it would just be actually that one would be easier to do because then I could stop recording and still do the gesture. Fire spur me. Anyway, goodbye.